Let's go fishing. Fishes are aquatic animals. They have fins. They have an internal skeleton. In some fishes, it is made of cartilage. Cartilage is strong and flexible, like the cartilage that supports the end of your nose. Other fishes have skeleton made of bone. Fishes are vertebrate animals. Mammals, birds, reptiles, and amphibians are vertebrates too. Fishes cannot control their body temperature internally. Their body temperature is pretty close to that of the water they live in. They can move to different parts of the water, though, to help them become cooler or warmer. Temperature is also important to fishes in another way. They breathe oxygen from the water. Warmer water contains less oxygen than cooler water. If the water temperature rises too high, many fish species will move to cooler water if they can. Some fishes live on the bottom. Some live along the shore. Some live near the surface. Some live where water moves quickly. Some live where water moves slowly. Some fishes eat animals. Other fishes strain tiny organisms for food from the water with their gills. Fishes provide food for other animals in nature, including people. Fishing is a sporting activity for many people. Would you like to go fishing? Here are some tips. All right, so we're out here ready to catch a fish. I have a simple rig set up, which actually works for a lot of different species of fishes. I have a bobber at the end, I have a weight in the middle, and on the bottom, I have a swivel that has a snelled hook on it. I like the swivel because that allows you to change things quickly, and I have a straight hook with a good chunk of worm. This will work for bluegill, it will work for bass, you might get a catfish, every now and then a crappie will hit a worm. You just never know, and that's the best part of fishing. So now we're fishing, my bobber's in the water, I'm waiting to see what happens with it, and what I look for with the bobber is it holds my bait up off the bottom. Nice thing about a bobber is you can actually set it so it will have deeper depths or shallower depths depending upon where the fish are. If you're not getting any fish right away, take your bobber and move it. Make your bait a little bit shallower or make it a little bit deeper and see if you can't find where the fish are. Every now and then a little twitch might not be too bad either, just to see what's going to happen. And again, if this isn't working for you, feel free to change the depth on the bobber. That's what they're for. Several different kind of bobbers. I'm using your standard red and white plastic one. There's ones that are a little bit taller that work better in some waves. There's ones that slip up and down your line that will allow you to fish a little bit deeper. But for starting out, this isn't too awful bad. Oop, there's a fish working that thing right now. Now honestly, this bobber might be a little bit too big for what I'm doing, but I'm hoping to be able to get a bluegill on this. And we'll see what we can do. Okay, so there was a fish out there, and I saw it messing with my bobber, and he about got all of my worm. That's gonna happen a lot. Bring plenty of worms. All right, so now that we have to rebait, we may as well show you how to do that too. This worm container brings up something very important. When you go fishing, always, always, always take all of the trash with you that you brought. And if there's any extra out there, bring some more trash with you too. That's always, always a good thing to do, keeping things clean. All right, so we have a worm. Best way to get your worm on your hook is basically just thread them up the hook. So you put them on and just thread them up into a nice little J, and you should be good to go. If you have any extra, just pinch that off. And now he is set up on the hook. He doesn't come off real easily. The fish have to work at it, and hopefully if they're working at it hard enough, they're going to get that hook stuck in their mouth so you're able to reel that fish in. Okay, we're ready for our second try. Before we do that though, let's talk about the reel. This is a spinning reel. This type of reel has a spool of line on it, and you hold your finger on it, trip this bail, and you throw it out there, and you're fishing. To be able to bring the line back in, just click the bail over and you can reel it in. There's several different kinds of reels. This one is my favorite. This isn't the one I started on though. I may show you that one in a second, but there's also a cane pull, which is very fun. But let's go ahead and see if we can't get us another fish. So if you're out fishing on a hot summer day, might not be a bad idea to have some sunscreen with you. Always wear sunscreen. Ooh, there was a fish and I just missed it. I tried to set the hook. When your bobber goes underneath, you give your line a quick jerk. That should drive that hook into the fish's mouth if you don't miss it. And there we have a fish. This is a bluegill with some spunk. There we go. Now, with the bluegill, when you want to take this thing off, these spines on the bluegill are quite sharp. You don't want to get horned by those. So take your two fingers, your index or your middle finger, and your thumb, and just run it down the front and the back of the fish. That gets his gills or his fins out of the way so you won't get spined. Get the hook out of its mouth. If you're going to take this fish home and clean it and eat it, throw it in the basket. If you're going to let it go quickly and let it go gently. Make sure that you know the rules and regulations of the specific spot that you are fishing. I'm fishing today on a private pond, but there are ponds all over the state that are public. Each of them have separate rules, and make sure that you know what they are. If you're 16 or older, make sure that you have your fishing license with you. And probably, for a while, make sure that you're fishing with an adult. Make sure that you know how to identify what kind of fish it is that you caught. Make sure that you know how many of that kind of fish or the limit that you can catch of that fish each day. Those are very important things to make sure that you follow the rules, make sure you're a conservationist, make sure you're a good fisher person, and make sure all of those details, you know what they are. And I just missed another fish. There's lots of ways to tie a hook onto a line. What I was using and I showed you earlier is called a snelled hook. It's pre-tied. You just have to slip it, and I missed another fish. You got to slip it into the swivel that you have on there. Other times, you can tie your own knots and tie a hook directly onto the line. We have a couple of podcasts available through the Department of Natural Resources that you can see how that works too. Either way, it's kind of up to you. I like this because this is a quick change. Other people like to tie the hook directly on. That's the best part of fishing, is there's a lot of different ways to do it, and you can make your own opinion about what works best for you. One thing we haven't talked about is the fishing line. Lots of different thoughts on what is a good fishing line and what makes the right weight for you. If you're catching a smaller fish, if you're going after something like a bluegill, a 4 to 6 pound test is going to be plenty. And if you're going after something like a bass or a catfish, you're going to want to get stronger line because your fish is going to be pulling more and you're going to need a little bit more resistance against that fish, and your line can't break. So make sure that the light line that you have fits the equipment that you have. This is what's called an ultralight rig. It's a very small pole, it's very light, and it has a lot of feel to it. But because of that, the reel is small and I have to use a smaller test line. This is a 6 pound test. When I go after bass or catfish, I'll use a bigger reel that will hold bigger line and more of it, and I'll use 6 to 8 to 10. Or if I'm going after those big nasty catfish on Lake Shelbyville, I might go as high as 15 or 20. So I'm on a very nice pond. I have a cricket frog right over there. We've got several bullfrogs going on around here also. It's a beautiful evening. Some people say the best time to fish is in the morning and in the evening, and that's true. Fish are a lot like a lot of other critters. They're a little bit more active in the morning and in the evening. But personally, I think the best time to fish is whenever you can get out to do it.